5th, 2025, and the Education Finance Committee will come to order. And today we're going to be hearing from the Minnesota's independent and faith-based schools, and I'm told that we have about 5 to 7 minutes per testifier. And so I think we're just going to jump right into it. And so we will start, and if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. We will start with Meg F. We'll just say that, from the Associate Director of Education Quality and Excellence, and then following Meg will be Tricia from John Paul II Catholic School. So once you're ready, please say your name for the record and then begin your testimony.
Meg Forget. Good morning, Chair Kunish, Senator Rarick, members of the committee. My name is Meg Forget, and I am an Associate Director for the Archdiocese of St. Paul and Minneapolis' Office for Catholic Education. Prior to this role, I spent 13 years as a school psychologist in multiple public schools here in the Twin Cities. One of my primary roles now is to support Catholic school leaders across our 89 schools access and effectively utilize government programs and funds. Catholic schools in our Archdiocese serve more than 30,000 students across 49 public school districts spread over 12 counties. These statistics would make us the fourth largest school district in the state if we were able to be recognized as our own district. Our student population is very diverse. 31% of our students are not Catholic, 28% of our students are students of color, while 13% of our students qualify for free or reduced meals. When looking at academics and college readiness in 2024, our high school juniors scored a 25.0 average composite score on the ACT, while Minnesota high school juniors across the state scored an average ACT composite score of 20.7. The National Assessment of Educational Progress reports, which serves as our nation's report card, so to speak, in education, released on January 29th, indicated that again, Catholic school students continue to outpace public schools in math and reading, while public school students' achievement has not returned to pre-pandemic levels and reading scores continue to decline. This includes our students in Minnesota as well. Along with this diversity, we strive in many ways to provide access to any family who wishes to join one of our schools. The average tuition collected across our system is $4,413 per student each year, only about half our cost to educate. Our school leaders work throughout the year with various people, groups, businesses, foundations, their local Catholic parishes, and other organizations in their communities to raise money to support our Catholic schools. Donors see the high levels of excellence our students show in their academics, as well as in becoming virtuous, engaged members and leaders within their local communities. As stewards of these funds, as well as families' tuition payments, often coming from tight budgets, our schools have become well-versed in efficiently growing educational excellence in our students. A part of this involves accessing critical funds and services available to our non-public students through the state's non-public per pupil aid and transportation programs. The average cost to educate across our entire system is $8,532 per student as of 2024, while the average cost to educate for public school students in Minnesota is over $18,000. With over 30,000 students in our Catholic school system alone, we are saving the state's education system a significant amount of money every year. So why then would it make sense to cut from the state's budget these non-public education funds? This proposal needs to be removed, as it is neither efficient nor effective in bringing more financial vitality to the state of Minnesota, as well as it's simply being discriminatory against non-public students and causing significant equity issues in making it harder for our students of lower income families to choose a school that fully fits their children's needs and their family values. Our school communities have beautiful successes happening every day across the wider Twin Cities and metro areas. Hundreds of service and mission events are done by our staff and students throughout the school year, giving back to and supporting their local communities. Our schools often continue to grow in the types of students they serve as well. Hill Murray's Nicholas Center, for example, serves diverse learners with special needs through their own in-house programming, saving the state further funding every year. Hill Murray's specialized classes support unique learners in literacy and mathematics, while also teaching social social and executive functioning skills, and providing extended adult support in students' general education settings. They by no means are our only school to be serving students with unique learners, but they do provide an excellent example of how our schools welcome and support students and families with all types of needs and backgrounds. Cristo Rey, one of our Catholic high schools, serves students coming from families of lower economic status and whose parents did not attend college. The school works to prepare successful first-generation college students. Students not only attend strong academic classes, but also learn about how to be successful as professionals while participating in internships around the Twin Cities. Placements include roles within the legal system, hospitals and clinics, schools, and various other organizations in their community. Our 9 Drexel Mission schools, or our DMS schools, continue to serve families from a variety of ethnic backgrounds as well. An average of 87% of these students are of color, 38% are English language learners, and 69% of these students qualify for free and reduced price meals. DMS students, many whose families pay less than $1,000 or even $500 annually for their tuition, are provided not only a quality education, but also the wraparound services needed by the students and their families. Much of this extended support is provided through our City Connects program, where each school hires a coordinator serving in a social worker role to support families in accessing needed resources, such as food, clothing, after-school care, and medical care, to name a few. These coordinators also provide extended tutoring, counseling, and other needed interventions to students during the school day. Along with our DMS schools, our other 80 schools rely heavily on the state's per-pupil counseling and nursing dollars through non-public funding to help meet students' wellness needs. These dollars allow our schools to have a counselor and a nurse that then significantly impact how students are able to enter their classroom, ready to learn. Despite these many successes our schools and students show us, we also face many challenges that cannot be ignored. In order for our schools to continue educating the way we do, we must continue to have the freedom to educate as we have been, which includes integrating our Catholic faith into all that we do. Our values allow our students to not only develop strong work ethics, but to achieve educational results to their full potential, to not only develop social skills, but virtuous behaviors that lead to positive relationships with all people, and the fundamental understanding that serving others for the common good is critical success in life to work towards, rather than simply working to attain success for only themselves. One specific challenge our system faces related to this is teacher licensure. Teacher licensing through the state now requires several measures and trainings that simply go against too many fundamental values we as Catholics live out every day. This has forced many educators in our system to choose between losing their state licensure or to engage in professional development, demanding them to model new thoughts, ideas, and teaching practices that fundamentally oppose the Catholic values that form the core of Catholic education. Because of this, our system sees having to create our own licensure process as an up-and-coming necessity to continue offering the quality education we have been. Respecting students and families from diverse backgrounds means treating all people with dignity and teaching future generations this same value. Equity in education means doing all that we can to give all parents the opportunity to send their children to the school that best fits their needs. Inclusion means providing differentiated instruction throughout our classrooms to be able to meet a wider range of educational needs students show us. We will not be able to do this to the same extent if the state takes away over $10 million from our students in per-pupil funding, and then transportation for them too. Our students coming from lower socioeconomic status families would be the ones hit hardest by these cuts, potentially forcing them to change schools. Our Catholic school leaders work hard in support of our families who pay the same taxes as their public school neighbor families do, to access any and all government funds and programs that have been allocated for non-public students. Our 30,000 plus students represent various forms of diversity seen in their native language, ethnic backgrounds, socioeconomic status, learning styles, religions, and home lives, to name a few. Please do not allow the governor's budget to discriminate against non-public students and their families who play such a critical role in the life and vitality of our educational system and state as a whole. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your testimony. And members, if you have a burning question, we will take questions, but because we have 15, I think, more testifiers today, we'd like to get through all of them and then ask questions, time permitting at the end. So if there's any questions from members that you just can't wait, I don't see any, so we will thank you for your testimony, and we will move on. Senator Swazinski has a burning question.
As a chair of another committee, I appreciate your due diligence in trying to get this committee in under 2 hours, so thank you for that. But I don't know if it rises to the level of burning, but I just got to ask, because okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. You said that part of the teacher licensing process is at odds with Catholic values. I got to ask what you feel the teachers have to go through to get licensed would be at odds with any religious values. So I'm just curious. And so thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
Ms. Forget.
Yep. So Chair Kunish, Senator, what I was referring to and think of right off the bat is our schools very much, and our teachers are trained to teach about accepting and working with everyone. So that whole idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion is very much a part of our beliefs, but the way that we teach it and present it and view it is different. We talk about human dignity, the human dignity of every person, and we look at the value of family, and some of the DEI trainings, LGBTQ, those are areas in particular that we don't disagree at all in welcoming all people, but the way that we go about presenting it and teaching it to our students is just different. And that falls back on our Catholic faith. And so all we're asking is that we very much want to teach that acceptance and human dignity for all, but we want to be able to do it and use the language that's in line with our Catholic faith.
Thank you. Up next, Tricia Menshuber. Thank you. And then after that, Andrew Hilliker will be remote, so please state your name for the record, and then you may begin.
Tricia Menshuber, Chair Kunish, Senator Rarick, members of this committee. My name is Tricia Menshuber, and I serve as the principal of St. John Paul II Catholic School in Northeast Minneapolis. So Senator Clark, we are proud members of your district, and thank you for your representation. I've served in this role for 8 years. It's my 23rd year in education as a teacher and school leader. So thank you for being here today, for your service, and your openness to hearing about how Minnesota's support for all school children is so important to our collective work of raising young people to be positive contributors and innovators in our communities. At JP2, we serve 208 scholars in kindergarten through 8th grade, with another 20 children in our early child care program. 88% are students of color, and 76% meet the federal threshold for free or reduced lunches. Only 20% of our children have no named significant learning or mental health needs. The majority of our families live on the margins of society. Most of our students begin school not yet prepared for kindergarten. This year, only 1 of 24 was ready academically for school, and 3 out of 24 already have an IEP special education plan as a result of early childhood screening. Transfer scholars are often years behind academically in reading and math, so families are really looking for schools that offer personalized learning and meet the needs of a diverse population of scholars. We only have 1 to 2 sections of each grade, so teachers need to differentiate to help each scholar make growth. Often there are academic ranges of more than 4 years in one classroom with 1 teacher and no aides. This means our scholars need to make more than a year's growth to reach proficiency and high school readiness. Many have special needs, developmentally, learning disabilities, mental health concerns, language, etc. Families also struggle to understand how to help their children, especially those that show greater needs than they are equipped to support at home. This means that focusing on high growth is key, and we efficiently utilize our government funding, community partnerships, and volunteers to support our work. Our state-funded nurse serves us for about 3 hours a week, with an option to call for support when needed. We do not have any outside health services, so she has become pivotal in helping us work with families and children. She trains our school support staff, like me, in dealing with medical emergencies, basic first aid, and medication. For example, we had a scholar for 9 years with Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, which is a congenital heart defect, which often has an IEP and 504 in public schools. And with her support, just those hours a week, we were able to serve that scholar many times, riding in ambulances for paramedic support. And she is now a thriving young adult graduating from high school this year. Our nurse also helps us talk with families about immunizations. Many of our families do not understand why vaccinations can be important and fail to meet their requirements for vaccinating children. With her help, we mobilized to help families navigate health care, their children's basic health needs. She also keeps us in compliance with immunization reporting recommendations and public health guidelines. I truly cannot imagine how we would keep our scholars safe and healthy, and we don't talk about COVID anymore, but especially through public health crises, without an essential service like nursing. It's good for our school, of course, but for the health of our local community as well. As you can surmise from the statistics, most of our scholars are going to be first-generation college-bound students. So guidance counseling in middle school plays a key and crucial role. With our guidance counselor, 7th and 8th graders learn executive function skills like how to break down complex tasks to accomplish them. They learn study skills and test-taking skills that we all know they will need for life. They identify academic issues in their own practice and work out solutions, and our students set academic goals and make action plans and celebrate success. Typically, these are skills that are really learned at home with some support from teachers, but at JP2, they have to be explicitly taught to most of our scholars. Yet teachers have this significant academic lift, so our guidance counselor really plays this pivotal role in their life. For example, our 8th graders themselves fill out their own registration information for high school and lead their parents through the process of moving on to secondary education. This is supported by the guidance counselor who teaches them about high school options and helps them to navigate entrance requirements. Most of our scholars do go on to public or charter high schools through choice programs like open enrollment and lotteries that they have to navigate themselves. None of this would be possible without state-funded guidance counseling to help our scholars become high school ready. And just so you have a point of reference, this is 4 hours a week. So just 1 hour a week for a group of 7th and 8th graders. A little bit goes so far. As a result, our tiered system of support almost flips statistically by 8th grade, where only 20% of our scholars have high needs. It's the exact opposite of kindergarten. We are qualified as a high-growth school with more than half of our scholars exceeding a year's academic growth each year, and the Canopy National Project has named us as an innovative school due to our success on individualized and personalized learning methods. And the very best news, 100% of our 8th grade scholars graduate high school in 4 years, and most choose high schools that offer opportunities for academic support and college counseling that they themselves have identified so that they will have career and academic options post-graduation. This is remarkable for our area. So many of our graduates come back to be volunteer tutors in the school, and they often say they want to help kids like them who need more support. These urban children with many learning obstacles and little academic support at home have become engineers, architects, trades workers, lawyers, administrators, and more. They are making positive contributions to our Minnesota society as moral and upright citizens. I'm sharing the story of our school because I believe that we do this work collectively. All of our schools and community members, all of our scholars and families, and you contribute. Non-public pupil aids and state support has been critical to our work with the urban youth of Northeast Minneapolis. And I hope you see today with these testimonies that we utilize these funds effectively to move the dial on scholar achievement and future success. We urge your committee and the entire state legislature to continue to preserve these essential services for all children in Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, can you hang on for one? I believe we have one quick question.
Good morning.
Good morning.
An interesting fact, my children went to your school.
No.
Yep.
When it was Northeast Regional, or?
Yep, when it was Nero. Yep.
That's
back in the
phenomenal.
day.
I still have the jerseys. That's great.
I think they do too. But I'm curious about the needs of your students when it comes to the medical needs, and you talked about a kid that had some pretty significant medical needs. How are those needs through your school paid for? Do you absorb those costs? Do you bill that back to the school district? And, do you have an idea of annually what that might look like?
Ms. Menshuber.
Chair Kunish, Senator, the non-public pupil aid for nursing that we get is just the time for the nurse. It's the 3 hours a week of nursing time and advice and support. The nurse doesn't even really see children. So in terms of medical supplies, things like that, we do fund that through the school, right, through our operating funds. Meg mentioned City Connects program, which is a social work program. So that position that we funded in our schools has done a nice job, like helping parents navigate like medical insurance, for example. They help sign releases where we can talk to doctors directly and make sure, say, we need an extra EpiPen or we need medication on site and the parent doesn't know how to navigate that. It's our staff that will navigate that. Quantifying that is a little tougher. I mean, I can give you a line item on just medical supplies, but in terms of administrative time, my support staff, it's considerable, right? I mean, the City Connects position alone is almost $70,000 a year. So it's quite a big cost we take on, but the professional advice, that 3 hours a week, is invaluable too, because we are not medical professionals.
So do you bill any of those medical needs for any of your students back to the public school district?
No.
None. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Our next testifier, I believe, is online. Mr. Hilliker. Please identify yourself and begin when you're ready.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Hilliker, and Senators Rarick and Kunish and members of the committee. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I wish I was in person, but I am representing Stella Maris Academy in Duluth, Minnesota. So I was not able to make the trek down to St. Paul today. I am the president of Stella Maris Academy, and we are a Catholic school system that serves about 660 students from 7 different school districts around Northeast Minnesota. We've had an increase in our enrollment population of about 40% in the last 4 years. And 3 years ago, we celebrated the reestablishment of the only Catholic high school in Northeast Minnesota. Our academy encompasses 4 campuses across Duluth, serving pre-K through high school. I want to start with a reflection. When I came into school, non-public or Catholic education school leadership, about 8 years ago, I attended an informational training session hosted by the Minnesota Department of Education. And as a newer independent school leader, I was impressed with the welcome message from the individual that provided that training. And she started out by saying, "We are the Minnesota Department of Education." And she went on to say that the title of our department is very important because it is not the Minnesota Department of Public Education. They are positioned and prepared to support all students for the essential needs for them to be successful across Minnesota, regardless of where their families choose to send them to school. The state of Minnesota shared that they care deeply about the essential necessities that every child in Minnesota needs to be a successful learner and to be a successful Minnesotan. And that welcome message was an invitation to dive deeply into that day's content about how independent schools like mine were challenged and obligated to work with our local public schools and build wonderful relationships that would allow us to partner together as well as with our state agency to serve kids in the best way possible. Now, there are three very important examples that I want to share with the committee on the impact of the non-public pupil aids and what they actually do for students and for school communities. The first example is a student who came to us as she began her compulsory school career in kindergarten. She was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and by and large, the medical community and professionals had great hesitation about her ability to walk and to function in a typical classroom. Her parents, devout Catholics, were committed to sending her to Stella Maris Academy. We had many difficult conversations indicating that our level of ability to serve could be limited, but we were going to do everything we could with our partners in the local public school district to make sure we served her the best we could for as long as we could. An instrumental part of her success was the school nurse that was funded through the non-public pupil aids. That nurse guided not only the school and the teachers, but also the team that was serving the student on her IEP, guided the family, guided the medical professionals through what the least restrictive environment that best aligns with that student's values and expectations for education would mean for that student. Today, the student is in second grade and has very, very limited support. She's very independent, and I do not believe that could have happened without the collaborative support between our LEA and the school nurse, who played such an instrumental role in walking with us and with the district in how to best support a student. The second example is a family who resides in Duluth, and Dad was deployed through the National Guard recently. The family with 5 children, Mom had recently just had a baby, had never utilized bus transportation because Dad was able to take the 4 school-age children to school each day. With him deployed, they were in a position of no longer being able to, with any level of realisticness, get their children to school. The family did not realize how accessible transportation was, and it was a welcome conversation with that mother, that she was able to learn in Minnesota. Bus transportation is essential for all students to learn. They have to be at school to reach their academic potential. And so the fact that those kids were able to get on the bus every morning and be returned safely every night alleviated a burden on a family who was serving our state and our community in so many different ways. That same need would have to occur regardless of where the family school of choice was at, but it's an essential statutory need that the state is committed to, and one that highlights the significance of how we utilize these funds. In a third example, just 2 nights ago, we held our high school information and registration night, and our exceptional school counselor was on site to meet with students and to engage families in what opportunities existed in Minnesota through PSEO and CITS and college planning efforts. But more importantly, she held a session that invited families and students to come in and meet with her and understand what she can provide for mental health support, which is a growing challenge for students not only in our elementary grades, but especially in our junior high and senior high classrooms. To be able to have that consistent individual on site and present for our students gives not only a sense of security, but an avenue for students to receive guidance and support through these integral years of their education. We are able to meet the diverse needs of our school community and provide an exceptional option that better fits and aligns with many families in Northeast Minnesota. And we're able to do that at a fraction of the cost of in comparison to our local public option. We don't turn families away for financial reasons. 20% of our student population is diagnosed or has some level of learning or physical disability. We operate 12 bus routes throughout the city of Duluth. Majority of our students are riding bus transportation to and from school. And these 3 examples illustrate not only the commitment that the state of Minnesota has historically provided to all students in Minnesota, but the impact that they have on a very meaningful and intimate level to individual families and individual students. I can empathize with the other individuals who have talked about we may not have a nurse all the time or full time, or we may not have bus routes that we get to have a greater level of control over, but the participation and the collaboration we have with our LEAs through these non-public pupil aids and transportation funds allow us to do incredibly meaningful work for families who have a deep conviction for what is best for their child. And I am urging you today to oppose Governor Walz's current budget proposal that eliminates these longstanding non-public pupil aid funds, a commitment that has illustrated that all kids in Minnesota deserve access to essential services in their education, just as MDE had so eloquently shared in that training 10 years ago. I appreciate your time today and the investment and commitment you make in supporting education in Minnesota.
Thank you very much. Our next testifier is Russ Gregg. Please identify yourself for the record, and you may begin when you're ready.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. For the record, my name is Russ Gregg, and I'm the founder and head of school at Hope Academy. Hope Academy is a K-12 school located in the Phillips neighborhood of South Minneapolis, serving 700 students, 75% of whom are living in poverty. Most of our families live either in the Phillips neighborhood or in the near north side of Minneapolis. 15 buses bring our students to and from school each day. As the founder of Hope Academy and on behalf of our families, I want to first to thank you. Thank you for the wise and generous support that the state has provided for 25 years to inner city families who are doing the right thing, who are choosing to invest deeply in the future of the citizens of our state. While I understand that most independent schools are in suburban areas, Hope Academy is one of the most beautifully diverse schools in the state, with some of the highest reading and math scores of Black and brown children in our state. One of those scholars is a third grader named Kendall. Kendall's mother, Damara, is a single parent. Damara lives just south of Lake Street. I just spoke with her last night. She's a working mom who's also taking classes, and Damara does not own a car. She's trying to do right by her third grade daughter, Kendall, but by giving her the kind of remarkable education that she didn't receive herself. Kendall's been at Hope Academy since kindergarten, and she's already reading up a storm. She's surrounded by caring teachers and friends, and she's benefiting enormously from a faith-based education. Damara's only way to get Kendall to Hope Academy is on the school bus that our state currently provides. Last night, Damara told me that removing busing from Kendall would be devastating, both to her and to her daughter. Kendall has benefited from an approach to teaching reading called the science of reading, an evidence-based reading curriculum that Hope Academy has used long before it became law in the Minnesota READ Act. For Minnesota students whose parents choose an independent school like Hope Academy, how does Kendall's family pay for the consumable textbooks to support her reading instruction? For the last 25 years, it's been provided by our non-public pupil textbook aid. As you might imagine, our scholars at Hope Academy suffer from some of the highest adverse childhood experiences of any in the state. Traumatic experiences like hunger, the incarceration of a family member, or parental substance abuse. A few years ago, I testified before this committee that children don't leave these traumatic experiences at the door when they arrive at school each morning. Attending to the mental health needs of our younger students is essential to their being able to attend to their teacher. Hope Academy has an annual graduation rate of 95%, and half of those graduates are the first ones in their family to ever go to college. Those of us with teens know how hard it is to navigate the college admissions and scholarship process. One of our 2019 graduates, Kenneth Granados, came back to Hope Academy last month to encourage our students. He said that the full ride scholarship he received to a local college would have been impossible without the help of our college and career counseling office. Counseling supported by Minnesota's non-public pupil aid program. Lastly, I want to remind you that non-public pupil aid also provides a licensed school nurse to our 700 students 2 days a week. She handles all the reporting to the state to keep our students current on their immunizations. She reviews the medical histories of our scholars and develops things like diabetes action plans. She oversees the hearing and eyesight screenings of all our scholars, and she keeps abreast of state law changes and informs us of public health threats so our scholars can be healthy and safe. You know, the total of all these supports of transportation, textbooks, counseling, and nursing services is over $500,000 each year. $500,000 that our families would be unable to provide. I suspect that there must have been an oversight to consider eliminating these vital benefits from some of the most vulnerable members of our community. Thank you for standing up for all the children and families in our state.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Our next testifier is Quentin Moore. It is fabulous to see another RCAC member here at the Capitol.
How are you doing, Senator Eric?
Very good. Please identify yourself and you may begin.
Awesome. Chair Kunish, Senator Rarick, members of the committee. My name is Quentin Moore. I serve as the Vice President of Development for Ascension Catholic Academy. Ascension Catholic Academy is a consortium of 4 private Catholic schools serving our urban core in Minneapolis and St. Paul. We serve over 700 scholars annually, pre-K through 8th grade. The schools consist of Ascension Catholic School in North Minneapolis, John Paul II over in Northeast Minneapolis, St. Peter Claver in the Rondo neighborhood here in St. Paul, and then also St. Paschal Regional Catholic School, which is on the east side of St. Paul. Personally, I sit here as a product of Catholic education. I grew up in North Minneapolis, attended Ascension Catholic School. I had 2 younger siblings, Emerald and Lavina, who also attended Ascension Catholic School. We matriculated to De La Salle High School. I became the first of my family to graduate from the University of St. Thomas. My sister, she graduated from St. Kate's. My brother, he was a little smarter, took on a lot less debt, became a welder, and now is a facilities manager in River Falls, Wisconsin. I understand Minnesota stands at a crossroads in education. The proposed elimination of the non-public pupil aid and transportation aid will have far-reaching consequences. We've heard that. Not just for private school families, but for the broader goal of improving academic outcomes across our state. As someone whose life trajectory was truly changed for the better because of Catholic education, I believe we must approach this issue not as a public versus private debate, but as a question of educational freedom, fiscal responsibility, and ultimately scholar success and excellence. As I mentioned, I serve as the Vice President of Ascension Catholic Academy, and I see the intersection of public, private, corporate, philanthropic funding coming together to ensure brighter futures for scholars and families at our 4 schools. ACA serves a very diverse student population. Our scholars are overwhelmingly scholars of color at 96%. 68% qualify for free or reduced meals. 45% identify as Catholic, and 17% identify as English language learners. In light of all this, our scholars continue to outperform their neighborhood peers with similar demographics and standardized testing, and nearly 3/4 of our scholars maintain a consistent attendance exceeding local averages. Since ACA's founding in 2016, nearly 100% of our scholars have matriculated from one of our elementary schools, and they've graduated high school in 4 years. If you understand the impact of that, specifically when you look at the demographics we serve, you know how significant that is. Our anchor school, Ascension Catholic School, has served North Minneapolis for over 127 years and has proven success in supporting families in North Minneapolis, offering a rigorous faith-based education that opened pathways to prosperity. We are not simply looking to maintain, but to empower excellence for our scholars, and this non-public pupil aid is a vital part of that effort. And let me be clear, this is not a handout. This is truly an investment in scholar success. Understanding the support that our 4 schools as a system receive in this non-public pupil aid, we would need to raise an additional $1 million to $1.5 million annually to make up for these proposed cuts. As an organization where no dollar collects dust and 90% of our operating budget is funded by philanthropic support, this would have a devastating impact on our organization, our scholars, families, and staff. I sit here before you believing that education is about ensuring every child has access to the tools they need to succeed, regardless of whether their family chooses a public, charter, or non-public school. Education is a public good for all families, and I think we can agree upon that. The parents and caregivers who send their children to non-public schools are also taxpayers. They contribute to public education while also making personal and financial sacrifices to secure the best fit for their children's needs. This aid in question does not fund private school tuition. It provides essential resources like we've heard about today: transportation, nursing, counseling, textbooks, learning materials, things that enable our scholars to learn, to increase their well-being, and to get to and from school safely. Cutting this aid does not save money in the long term. It merely makes it harder for working-class families and under-resourced communities to exercise their right to choose the best education for their children. There's sometimes a misconception that non-public schools are a burden to public funds. In reality, non-public schools save taxpayers millions of dollars each year, educating scholars at a fraction of the cost of public schools. We heard earlier, Minnesota spends about $18,000 per pupil in public education, while Catholic and other non-private schools educate with far less resources. This vital aid for transportation, nursing, counseling, instructional materials is cost-effective to benefiting all of Minnesota. Eliminating it would likely force many families back into an overburdened public school system while increasing the pressure on teachers, staff, and administration at non-public schools to fundraise when they should be focusing on the care, nurturing, and education of our young people. Non-public schools are part of the solution to Minnesota's education crisis. We all know that Minnesota has some of the worst disparities for Black and brown scholars when it comes to achievement. And despite increased funding, dedicated and loving educators, public schools have struggled to close those gaps. Catholic and non-public schools have a proven track record of success in educating historically underserved scholars. Instead of removing resources from families who are seeking alternatives, the state should be embracing a broader approach to education reform, one that includes all models of learning that work. The question should not be whether non-public schools deserve this support, but rather, how can we use tools to our disposal to improve education outcomes for all scholars? Some may argue that these public dollars should stay in public schools, but when we talk about true equity, that means ensuring that all families, regardless of income, have access to a high-quality education. Eliminating transportation aid specifically, as we've heard, will disproportionately impact lower-income families who may find themselves unable to send their children to school, not because of academics, but just because they can't get to and from. Education policy should not be about limiting choices. It should be about expanding access. Instead of cutting this critical aid, we should be having conversations on how to ensure transparency, accountability, while still empowering families to make the best decision for their children. For me personally, this is not an either-or issue. We can support public schools while also recognizing the role that non-public education plays in providing opportunities for thousands of Minnesota families. This should not be a zero-sum game either. Families choosing non-public schools for many reasons, faith, culture, academic rigor, or just better fit for their child's learning needs. Stripping away these basic forms of aid that provide transportation, nursing, textbooks, learning materials, it doesn't strengthen our state. It doesn't strengthen the state of our education. It weakens the ecosystem of options that allow scholars to thrive. So let's not take this public aid away. Let's not take tools away from parents. Let's work together to build an education system that truly works for everyone. I urge you to oppose these cuts. Stand with our non-public school families who are simply asking for the ability to choose what's best for their children. That's what this is about. Let's make Minnesota great for everyone. God bless you all, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you. I believe we do have one quick question, Senator Clark.
Thanks, Chair Rarick, and yes, quick. You described $1.5 million in cuts as devastating. What is your annual budget?
Our annual budget for all 4 schools, the academy, is 10.9, so it'd be anywhere from about 10% to 15%.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your testimony. And members, if you don't trust my opinion on regent candidates, talk to Mr. Moore. He interviewed them all as well.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you all.
Our next testifier is Joshua Blonsky. Please identify yourself for the record, and you can begin when you're ready.
Joshua Blonsky. Senator Knish, Senator Rarick, and members of the committee. My name is Joshua Blonsky, and I am the Dean of Students at St. Agnes School, where I also teach Latin to 7th graders. I wanted to start by telling you a little bit about our school, the hometown hero right down the street from us in Frogtown. St. Agnes is a cornerstone in our neighborhood and has proudly educated generations of Minnesotans since our doors opened in 1888. We currently serve over 830 students in a pre-K to 12 setting, all of whom travel from over 80 zip codes to be educated in the Catholic tradition. Our students represent the rich cultural diversity our state enjoys. Nearly a third of our student body is composed of students of color, representing Latino, African American, and Asian communities. St. Agnes has been recognized nationally by the Cardinal Newman Society's High School Honor Roll. We've been in the national news recently, most specifically in an article published this past January in the National Catholic Register called 7 Things Your Children's School Can Do to Promote Its Catholic Identity. We have been featured by another national group, the St. John Henry Newman Institute, as their January 2025 school spotlight. Our students also come from various walks of life, with over 130 of them qualifying for free and reduced lunches that we serve to them every day, nourishing not only their bodies, but also their minds. 81% of our student body scores either at or above average grade level on standardized tests, including the Stanford Achievement Test in elementary school. And our school has an average ACT score of 26, which compares favorably with some of the top college preparatory schools in the state of Minnesota. Most of our students go on to higher education after their high school, and they remain in Minnesota after college because they're extremely family-oriented. St. Agnes has earned this high praise and recognition because we spend a considerable amount of time helping our students develop the virtues that lead them to be engaged and productive Minnesotans. We regularly hear from visitors that our students are so wholesome, friendly, good, engaging, the kind of kids that'll look you in the eye and carry on a sophisticated conversation about wide-ranging topics, including important current events like the one that we are discussing today. Our students, they're excellent readers, they're respectful interlocutors, they're thoughtful writers, and they are strong Christian believers who love their home state and their country. As one surveys our area, it becomes evident that most of the private schools around us have closed their doors over the past 2 decades. And St. Agnes is the last woman standing in Frogtown. Despite all the challenges we have faced to remain open, St. Agnes continues to provide a very important public service in the inner city of St. Paul by educating our local youth. Our efforts at St. Agnes removes a significant financial burden from the state of Minnesota and the St. Paul Public School District. And how do we do this? Well, we rely on tuition dollars for approximately 70% of our school's annual revenue, and the other 30% comes from fundraising. Our fundraising efforts enable us to serve our diverse group of students and their families, 75% of whom receive financial aid. St. Agnes currently raises about $2.3 million each year from private donors, foundations, St. Agnes Parish, the Archdiocese, and even from our students themselves who sell roughly 5,000 car raffle tickets to support their beloved alma mater. The changes we're discussing today would cut northwards of $342,000 from our school's budget. What does that look like? What does that translate to? Well, without the ability to qualify for funding, we lose access to high quality and updated books to instruct our students with. The loss of students also looks like an empty nurse's office, or perhaps having a nurse whose time can only be spent managing the mandatory paperwork and unable to care for the ill elementary school students lined up outside their door. This blow to our budget also looks like the 1.5 school counselor that we have, who already do heroic work with the minimal resources we have. With their office emptied, our 712 students' social, emotional well-being in this post-COVID world would be greatly affected. And the loss of the post-high school planning process our counselors offer would make our high schoolers transition into college or the workforce unduly challenging. Bearing all things in mind, the great work that St. Agnes does and the challenges she faces, I request, on behalf of the students entrusted to my care, don't defund my students. Don't defund their future. Please invest in them. Invest in their future. The state of Minnesota will see a return on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Next up, we have Dan Beckering. And looking at our time, I'm going to maybe ask our testifiers to try to keep to about 5 minutes. Please introduce yourself, and you may begin.
Good morning, Chair Kunish, Senator Rarick, and members of the committee. I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Dan Beckering. For the past 17 years, I have served as the head of school at Southwest Christian High School in Chaska. 3 of my children have graduated from Southwest Christian, and my youngest is currently a sophomore and one of our 545 students. I'm also the Minnesota State Representative for the Association of Christian Schools International, or ACSI. There are 33 ACSI schools spread throughout Minnesota, serving 8,000 students. The Minnesota families that choose a Christian school for their children do so because they desire an educational environment that supports and teaches their Christian beliefs. Parents naturally want their children taught in a school aligned with their core values. That's why I believe our state's education system is strengthened by the diverse educational options available to many Minnesota families, including public, private, and faith-based schools. Unfortunately, the term private education has created a perception that schools like mine don't benefit our broader communities or serve the public well-being. In reality, the opposite is true. All of Minnesota's faith-based schools emphasize the importance of serving neighbors and the community. As an example, my school every year dedicates 2 full days where we send our entire student body throughout the entire metro area helping people in need. Our goal is to graduate students who will continually and joyfully serve their neighbors and communities throughout the rest of their lives. We also strive to equip our students to take on future leadership roles in their communities, leaders that desire to bless others and make a positive difference in the world around them. The students graduating from Minnesota's faith-based schools are being prepared to give and serve and lead in ways that will strengthen and enhance our communities and our state. Minnesota benefits when families have the option to select between high-quality public and private schools. Yet the reality is that many Minnesota families are unable to afford a faith-based education. Contrary to the common belief that private schools, especially those in the suburbs, are just for wealthy people, many of the families in our ACSI schools receive significant financial need-based scholarships to make it possible for them to attend. Just last week, I met with our CFO and our Director of Admission to review financial aid applications of numerous families wanting to attend our school. There were a number of single-parent homes with meager incomes. There were two-parent homes, and despite both parents working hard at their jobs, they were making less than $50,000. Despite making huge sacrifices to provide their children with a Christian education, these families depend on tuition scholarships to enroll in our school, and every dollar of those scholarships has to be raised through donor support. Private school leaders are actively working to manage tuition increases to keep our schools affordable. The faculty and staff at my school, like those in nearly all of Minnesota's private schools, receive salaries and benefits that are lower than they would receive if they were working in a public school. It is these realities that make me extremely concerned about Governor Walz's proposal to eliminate all state funding for essential services like counseling, nursing, textbooks, and busing for the nearly 73,000 Minnesota private school students. Private schools will be forced to choose between reducing essential services or raising tuition, resulting in a tuition increase of almost $1,100 for a family with 2 high school students. As the majority of the states in our country are expanding school choice, including several of our neighboring states, Governor Walz's proposal takes Minnesota in the opposite direction. It effectively reduces access to private schools for many families. His budget plan rolls back nearly 50 years of Minnesota's commitment to funding essential services for all students. And these proposed reductions come at a time when private and public schools alike are facing an epidemic in student mental health. My lead nurse informed me yesterday that they recently reached 2,000 visits to the nurse's office. Many of these visits are related to mental health issues, which then need to be triaged and cared for by our school counselors. Eliminating state funding for these essential health services in private schools would be harmful to many Minnesota students. Many of our ACSI schools will not be able to require their families to cover these financial gaps, and as a result, they will be forced to cut these important services our students need. The families who send their children to private schools pay taxes to support our state's public education system. I urge the members of this committee not to deny the students of these families the essential services they need simply because they're not enrolled in a public school. I urge the members of this committee not to support legislation that reduces the educational options available to Minnesota's families. On behalf of Minnesota's 33 ACSI schools and the 8,000 students and their families that attend them, I humbly ask for your support. Thank you for your time and your attention to this important matter.
Thank you very much. Next, we have a remote testifier, Melissa Marty. You may identify yourself, and you may begin when you are ready. Ms. Marty, do you hear us? You can unmute and begin your testimony if you're available. Let's maybe move on to our next testifier and we'll get back. Another remote testifier, Dean Jennison.
All right, good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Dean Jennison. I'm the principal at Emmanuel Lutheran School in Lakefield, Minnesota. We have 112 students from 3-year-olds all the way up to 8th graders and 16 total staff, with 11 of those being teachers. We've been operating since 1899, so we're on our 126th year. This is my second year as principal and teacher here at the school. Prior to my work here, I served in public education for 32 years as an elementary teacher, a principal, and a superintendent. I made the move to private education or Lutheran school because I followed my values. And that led me to supporting students and families in a place where God's word leads and guides all that we do, which is a perfect match for my values, but also for the values of our families that send their students here to Emmanuel Lutheran. God's word is our foundation, and we live out those values every day through education. We have a strong academic program, and we have been told again and again from the neighboring public schools that most of our students go to after they leave Emmanuel, that our students are well prepared for 9th grade and certainly well prepared for their entire high school experience. And I guess as I look back at my journey, but also what I know about our families, is when you look back on things like the pandemic, one good outcome from that is that people really were evaluating their values and determining what was important to them. And as people dug in and looked at their students' education and their future, I know from my experience and from many of those that I speak to, they really wanted to evaluate what's best for my child, where's the best place for my child. And there are a lot of changes over the last few years. We have homeschool numbers that are incredibly elevated, certainly moves to private schools, online schools, and other options. And ultimately, all of those parents and families are making decisions based upon what they value. And so really what we're talking about today is a value conversation. It's been said that if you examine someone's checkbook or their bank account, you would know what they value by where they spend their money. And I think this is a matter of values. What do we value in all children? My unique experience here is one where Lakefield, Minnesota is in southwestern Minnesota. We're about 20 miles north of Iowa, about 45 miles east of South Dakota. And we're in a very remote county where there's not a lot of options for schools. There's a few public schools in our county. There's some private schools in our county. But ultimately, there's not a lot of options. And so the remote distance for things such as our school, we don't have people coming from very far away to our school necessarily. And when our students as 8th graders are finished here, they don't have a private school within driving distance that's reasonable. And so many of them will move on to the public school setting from here. And we have excellent public schools in our area. And one thing that should be noted is we work very well hand in hand with our public school partners. And the funding that's provided for us, and I can think specifically of the nursing service or the counseling service, those experiences for our students, also the transportation, are all things that are very much necessary. And ultimately, in a sense, our little private school is much like one of the public schools within our local school district's schools. And so when we work together, when we prepare together, we're giving our students the best opportunity. We're making an investment together. It's not a relationship that is animus. It's one where we work together closely because they're all our kids. Lakefield, a small community. Jackson, a little bit bigger of a community, but those two communities come together to form the Jackson County Central Schools. And so when I look at our situation of our students here in Lakefield, there's only a certain amount of school-age kids here. And those parents are going to make their decisions where they want their children to go to school. And like I said, many of them want that Christian, Bible-based foundation for their students. And we provide that here, and then they feed into the public school system. And so that seamless transition, I think, that we have is really based upon cooperation and living out our shared values together. And as a superintendent, as a principal in the past, I've never had an issue with those options for our parents, because I recognized real early on that relationship is key, because we have to work together. We live in the same community. Our community is only 1,700 people, so we see each other at the bakery, at the coffee shop, in church on Sundays. Our neighbors and our friends, we're all together. We're in this together. And so we have to work together, cobbling together the resources that are necessary to make things work. At our little school, it takes about $5,500 per student to educate our children, and I think we do a great job with that. We only charge $3,000 in tuition, and that difference is made up primarily by our church, which offsets the rest of the cost, but also through these non-public aids that are being talked about today. And so a portion of our budget is supplemented, certainly in the area of transportation, in the area of curriculum. The nursing service is very valuable to us, as is the counseling service. And then, of course, the partnership that we have with the administrators and the teachers within our public school setting. So all those things come together to determine or to provide a future for our children that really is based upon what we all value together. And I think I want to just bring us back to that point. We have to support all of our students because we value them. And it doesn't matter their educational setting. We know that their future, our future, is dependent upon those shared values and the cooperation that we have. And so I would urge you, and certainly reach out to me if you want, more information or follow up with questions about that transition from a public to private setting, and understanding just the clarity of we're all in this together. This is our small community. These are our children. Let's work together. Let's make things happen for them that provides a great future for them in the setting that they value. And we appreciate the opportunity to bring this forum to you today and just share. So thank you. Thank you, members of the committee, and Senator Rarick for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Next, we will have Ann Neelitz. Is Ann available online?
Yes, hello.
Okay, please identify yourself and you may begin.
Good morning, members of the committee. For the record, my name is Ann Neilitz, and I am the principal here at Prince of Peace Lutheran School in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So I am, as I said, principal here in St. Cloud, and this news of the non-publics being taken out of the funding for our textbook reimbursements, the nursing services, and transportation services came as a large shock to us. I've done some calculating in the last week, and we would have about $35,000 in services taken away from us, but it would in turn cost us about $75,000 or more to replace what we have lost. We have an outstanding relationship with the St. Cloud Public School District. We have received great support from them in all of the areas that would be eliminated. One specific area that would really hit us hard would be the nursing area. We receive great support from our nurses. We've had many of them over the years that I've been here at Prince of Peace, and they have been extremely helpful through so many different situations. COVID obviously was a huge time that we were in constant contact with our nurse, but even just this year I had a student who was diagnosed with diabetes, and our nurse really displayed exemplary professionalism, and she came in and she met with the parents and with the staff and helped to train staff on what to do with that student. And it's things like that that would just be greatly missed, and the replacing of that service would put a tremendous strain on us as a school, on our budget, and we would have to pass that cost on to our parents who are already choosing to send their kids here and pay tuition. And so that would be a struggle, I think, for many of our families to be able to take on more of a cost for education here. We do have many students who utilize the busing services through the St. Cloud District. Again, it would just add another burden to our families who are tax-paying people. they're very faithful in that, and they also choose to send their child to a non-public where they are choosing to pay tuition. But to have these few services taken away from them would just be devastating to us. We also right now only can offer counseling services to our 7th and our 8th grade students. We are preschool through 8th grade school. So only 2 classes out of the entire school are offered those services. But again, those middle school years are so vital that when it comes to the support that we can give to our students with that mental health piece is critical. Thank you for taking the time to listen.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Let us go back. Let's see, is Melissa Marty available now?
Yes, good morning. I apologize, I'm having some difficulty with technology. I am not unable to have my on. I apologize. My speaking will be sufficient.
Yep, that is no problem. So go ahead. You can identify yourself and begin.
Again, my name is Melissa Marty. Thank you, Senator Kunish, Senator Rarick, and committee members for allowing us to speak. I am the principal at Queen of Peace Catholic School in Cloquet, Minnesota. I am in my 2nd year as principal. Prior to that, I was a middle school humanities teacher for several years. Queen of Peace has been in existence as a school since 1912. We are currently, although we have been in various formations, we are currently a pre-K through 8th grade facility. We have 116 students at this time, which is a 43% enrollment increase since the 2019-2020 school year. We are growing, and we are able to reach many of our parishioners and our community members, which has been an absolute blessing. When I heard of the governor's proposed budget, and I was very, very worried, simply because we are a very small school, as I stated, and it will be devastating for us to lose curriculum reimbursement funding. We also have 12% of our students that utilize public school transportation, and knowing these families, they will have to have very, very difficult conversations. They are faithful Catholics who would like to send their children to this Catholic school. However, with lack of transportation, it may be difficult to continue to do so. We are also able to utilize the nursing services. We have several students here who have type 1 diabetes, and they have been invaluable in helping us as a staff and as other students navigate how we can help those students and keep them safe. I appreciate your time, and I urge all of you to consider all of our students in Minnesota and not just those who attend the public school. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next testifier is Anthony Pisapia. Nope, not here. Okay. All right, we will then move to Dr. Lori Ann Brogdon. Oh, online. Okay.
Good morning, Chair Rarick and Chair Kunish. Thank you very much for holding this meeting. My name is Dr. Lori Ann Brogdon, head of school at Groves Academy in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. As part of the Groves Learning Organization, I have served as an educator and administrator in public and private schools in New York City, surrounding areas, Chicago, and currently now here in St. Louis Park. I've been in education for over 25 years. Groves Academy was founded 52 years ago. Our mission is to build confidence, success, and purpose through transformative learning experiences. Groves Academy is a part of the Groves Learning Organization, which has also served the Groves Literacy Partnership with 87 public and non-public schools across the Twin Cities, partnering with us to offer curriculum and support to schools using a research-based approach to the science of reading and writing. As an organization, our ultimate goal is to ensure all students can read across the state and across the country. Groves Academy's current enrollment is 270 students from 2nd through 12th grade. Our students come from over 62 zip codes, some of which moved to Minnesota and the Twin Cities with a commitment to residing here in the state, all to attend Groves Academy. Each year, approximately 26% of new students enroll at Groves Academy. 61% of them arrive with an IEP from a public school and seek our school as a last resort for their students to receive the highly skilled interventions needed to develop their reading and writing skills. 96% of our students have a learning disability or are diagnosed with ADHD. 81% of our students have a learning disability in reading and writing. 65% of our students have ADHD. 37% are diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Over 30% of our students receive tuition assistance. When students join Groves Academy, they attend classroom settings with an average ratio of one teacher to 8 students. Our teachers are skillfully trained in the Wilson method, a well-respected science of reading approach to Tier 3, the most significant intervention for students with dyslexia who struggle with reading comprehension and writing. In transforming lives each and every day, we believe in providing the best remediation and intervention to our students. Success of our program results in approximately 25 to 30 students transitioning back to public schools each and every school year. In addition, Groves Learning Organization is a founding member of the Association of Learning Differences Schools. Members of the Academy provide free webinars to the public for all to attend on a variety of topics, including supporting students with learning differences, ADHD, anxiety, depression, and executive functioning, to name a few, to support students both at home and in school setting. Groves Academy works incredibly closely with public schools to support those students who are truly struggling due to learning differences and needs. As a part of our mission of transforming lives, we strive for our students to return to the general educational setting if wanted and able. And most often, these students return to their local public schools. As part of this transition, our school and the Groves Learning Organization provide neuropsychological educational evaluations to our students, as well as speech and language evaluations when necessary. The cost and time for these evaluations are significant and relieve public schools of the need to test students who reside in their districts. The hours provided to evaluate, gather teacher input, prepare paperwork for, and attend IEP meetings for students to transition back to their local public schools is approximately 30 hours per student. Each year, Groves Academy partners with 36 districts and charter schools within the Twin Cities and the greater state of Minnesota to ensure a successful transition for each of those students. Our school efficiently uses state funding to support our curriculum that specifically meets the needs of our students. Not every curriculum is applicable to students with significant learning differences, and we use state funding to purchase curriculum materials and provide information at a reading level appropriate for them without watering down the curriculum. In addition, a majority of our students learn to utilize assistive technology and online programs to support their learning. Our school provides a space and time for our students to learn these skills so they may take these skills and abilities to advocate for themselves when they transition back. With 30% of our students diagnosed with anxiety and depression, our school counselors work with our teachers to support our students socially and emotionally. We know that when students feel emotionally supported, they are best prepared to engage in their learning. Many of our students arrive at our doors with poor self-esteem and a lack of confidence due to their struggles in learning. State funding has been used in the past to provide counseling and nursing services to our students as needed, and I anticipate we will continue to need it in the future. Over the years, students that reside within our school district have utilized public transportation to attend our school. Removing funding would prevent students who are in incredible need of our services from attending Groves Academy. Again, I thank you, Chair Rarick and Chair Kunish, for holding this hearing. I ask that the committee members consider fully funding non-public pupil aid, transportation funding, and providing access to school safety dollars and counseling funds for students in grades K through 6. Thank you very much for your time and your consideration.
Thank you for your testimony. Next, we have Jackie Smith.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here. I thank Chair Kunesh and Chair Rarick and the committee for the opportunity to be here. My name is Jackie Smith, and I'm the Director of General Studies at Heiligher Minneapolis Jewish Day School. I've worked at Heilecher for 3 years. Prior to that, I was an ESL teacher, coach, and administrator in St. Paul Public Schools and Robbinsdale area schools. Heilecher is the only community day school in Minnesota. We serve 175 students. We provide a dual program to the diversity of the Jewish community, including ethnic, linguistic, racial, and economic backgrounds, as well as a wide range of religious ritual practice and expression of Jewish life. Our students come from across the Twin Cities, and we accept our students regardless of financial need. Part of our mission is to prepare students to go into life living their values and with an expectation that they will have an impact on the larger community. As an independent kindergarten through 8th grade school, all of our students leave school and join other educational communities when they go to high school. The majority of our students attend their local public high school. This means that the well-being of our students at Heilecher is intimately wrapped up in the well-being of all Minnesota students. Wherever they go to school, they spend their lives side by side with other Minnesota peers. And prior to that, they live in the community, playing soccer, working in after-school care, volunteering. Our students are community members first. My colleagues and I work closely with our partner school district, St. Louis Park Public Schools. And we wisely and thoughtfully work together to spend our state and federal aid granted to the school. This relationship is collaborative and continues to lean in on partnership, and it impacts many of our students directly because they matriculate to St. Louis Park. We stand to lose approximately $45,000 through Governor Walz's current budget proposal, and I ask that you work to reverse that proposal. I'd like to share with you a couple of ways in which we approach these resources, all with the understanding that we do two things in our work. First, we make sure that we follow all the guidelines regarding spending and assure that taxpayer dollars are going to appropriate services. Secondly, we are stewards of that resource, and once that money is available to us, we make sure that we spend those dollars wisely and effectively. We make our dollars go a long way. One successful example of our partnership with St. Louis Park is with their school nursing program. Nurse Suzanne has a few hours to come to school and work collaboratively with Nurse Katie. If any of you know a school nurse, you know that those two together can get a lot done. Nurse Katie and Nurse Suzanne have worked together to enhance our health education programming for our students and have allowed Nurse Katie, our school nurse, to do additional work around attendance support for our students. This collaboration benefits both our school and the home community, the public school institution as well. Additionally, the reduction or elimination of these dollars would impact our learners. Like every other Minnesota school, our students struggle with increasing levels of anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues that impact their cognitive and behavioral engagement at school. Our staff, like every other Minnesota school staff, works tirelessly to support students and adjust teaching and community to engage our students. Counseling funds support regular parent education opportunities at Heilecher. We're able to get families together and talk about the things that our students need from a developmental, behavioral, and cognitive perspective. This opens up conversations with families when problems arise, and we can proactively address things such as mental health crises and school bullying. State resources support our students' day-to-day learning experiences. The Minnesota READ Act is an exciting and transformational opportunity for us to do better for kids, and our teachers are on the leading edge of implementation and practice. State resources have helped Heilecher teachers better serve students and provide the best materials available and support their work with students on a day-to-day basis. Loss of state funding will have a direct impact on our ability to provide these reading materials and implement the READ Act to its fullest. Schools serve as a reflection of the community and society as a whole. It's the one common thread that we share and that ties us together. Schools serve as the community touchstone for all children, providing targeted funding for Minnesota's students through schools, regardless of affiliation, is a natural opportunity to provide a baseline of support for all Minnesota children. Physical and mental health, access to quality learning materials, and connection to community are all rights that we owe our children. I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Our next testifier is Dr. Karen Balmer. Please identify yourself for the record, and you may begin.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Karen Balmer, and I have had the privilege of serving as the lower school principal at Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis. This is my 12th year at Minnehaha, and I appreciate the opportunity to share with you this morning. My career began over 25 years ago when I taught second grade in the Burnsville Public School District. And I've had the privilege of working in education policy in several capacities as a member of a local school board in a public school district, as a committee administrator in the House, as executive director of the Minnesota Board of Teaching, that was its former name, now PELSB. And those experiences have afforded me the opportunity to see and better understand firsthand the challenges of policymaking, where there are finite resources for important and yet often competing demands. I recognize and appreciate the difficulty of your work, and I thank you for your willingness to engage in these complexities and these challenges. Minnehaha Academy has been educating students since 1913, so we have a 111-year legacy of living out our mission, which is to provide high-quality education integrating Christian faith and learning. Our current enrollment is about 860 students from preschool through 12th grade. We are a Christian school, and this is very much a part of the daily experience of our students. We are a diverse community in many ways, including from the faith perspective. While we are unapologetically a Christian school, we do not require students or families to sign a statement of faith or even to identify as Christian. And as such, of course, we serve many Christian families, but we also serve students and families of other faiths or no faith at all. We're also diverse racially and ethnically. 39% of our student body are students of color. Maintaining socioeconomic diversity is also important to us. Over 53% of our families receive financial assistance to attend Minnehaha. We're geographically diverse. Our families live across the Twin Cities, with roughly half of our students coming from Minneapolis and St. Paul, and the other half from the surrounding areas in literally every direction. Like every proud administrator, there are many things I would love to share with you about Minnehaha and the good work that we're doing with students, in my case, in an elementary school setting. I would love to share with you the way that we're delivering strong instruction, tracking student growth, and engaging in ongoing collaborative data analysis to be sure that each student is receiving what he or she needs to continue growing. I would love to share with you what we were already doing to ensure that we have strong readers and how we've embraced new practices as a result of the Minnesota READ Act. I would love to talk about the core formation experiences that we are embedding into the school day to allow students to engage in real-world opportunities, learning about other cultures, and meeting real-time, real-world needs. Or about our innovation lab, where even our kindergartners are learning that technology is not simply something to be consumed, but rather that technology tools are opportunities for them to create, to build, to imagine, to collaborate, to try and fail, and try again. I have no doubt that in this room, we share many values and ideas about what's important for students. Certainly, academic growth is central to what we do in our schools, but I imagine that most of us would also agree that schools play a critical role in helping students to develop holistically, ensuring that they are physically safe and cared for, that they have adequate resources and staffing for strong social and emotional development. The reality is that the non-public pupil aid and the non-public pupil transportation funding is critical for ensuring that we can do these things well. You've already heard many stories and examples of the importance of these dollars. Losing this funding for counseling, nursing, textbooks, and transportation would result translate into a loss of roughly $450,000 annually at Minnehaha Academy. For a school our size, this would represent a significant cut and would absolutely impact our students in very real ways. This support for non-public schools dates back to 1975. Despite budget shortfalls, challenges, deficits across the past 50 years, the legislature's commitment to this aid has remained steady. This aid is not partisan or political. It does not favor rural over urban or suburban. It does not benefit one socioeconomic class or ethnic group over another. To use words from the authorizing language back in 1975, it provides aids, quote, so that every school pupil in the state will share equitably in education benefits. I'm grateful for this commitment over the past 50 years, and especially knowing how difficult your task is to craft this budget, and respectfully, I ask you to continue this commitment and so that we can continue serving our students well. Thank you, Chair Rarick, Chair Kunish, and members of this committee.
Thank you, Dr. Balmer. I almost had to cut you off for your reference to the other body, but since there are 4 of us from the other body, we let it go today.
Thank you, Chair, for the grace.
Next up, remotely, we have Dr. Bill Hudson.
Good morning. Thank you, Chair Kudish and Chair Rarick, for this opportunity to speak to you this morning. My name is Bill Hudson. I'm the head of school at Mounds Park Academy. We are a pre-K through 12 school on the east side of the metro. We're actually in Maplewood, and across the street is St. Paul, so we're right in the heart of the east side. Our students come from 77 different zip codes across the Twin Cities. And I'm proud to speak a little bit on both Mounds Park Academy and on MAIS, the Minnesota Association of Independent Schools. MPA has been in existence since 1982. We were created and founded by teachers with an idea of what education could be and how it might really serve the needs of students. Our motto is dream big, do right. Dream big in terms of helping students to dream about their future and about the world in which they live in, and also to do right, to give back and to serve their local communities. And I feel really strongly about that our students do give back to our local community, both where they live and in our surrounding areas. We've had the good fortune of partnering with District 622 on a number of fronts. Some of the students in the nearby elementary school have come and used our facilities. And we have a strong partnership with the district, the local district, that I'm proud of. We also are home to and support an organization called Breakthrough Twin Cities, another nonprofit that actually was a part of MPA and became its own nonprofit several years ago, but continues to be housed here at MPA and providing in-kind services for them. They are an organization that serves public school students through an enrichment program of 7 weeks in the summer and 1 Saturday a week, where they bring students to Mounds Park Academy and are taught by fellows that are themselves aspiring teachers to ensure that those students have opportunities outside of what they're able to provide. These are high-performing, under-resourced students that come to MPA throughout the summer and the school year. A little bit about MAIS, the Minnesota Association of Independent Schools. It comprises 17 schools that are pre-primary, elementary, middle, and high schools, from Duluth to Collegeville to Faribault to the Twin Cities. We have over 10,000 students and 3,400 employees that are Minnesotans. And so we play an important part in both the educational and economic community here in the Twin Cities. We are united by accreditation through a regional accreditation organization here in the Midwest area, the Central States. We feel that we do support the public good in a number of ways. And speaking to these specific cuts and elimination of these, the support, I like to think about it in terms of the support goes to the students, the pupils, not to the school. And that's an important distinction because that support would go to the student whether they were here at MPA or at Minnehaha Academy, or if they are down the street at North St. Paul High School. And that's an important distinction. It's not supporting the schools, it's supporting the students, providing them those integral services, especially in terms of thinking about the mental health services that are provided through the counselor. We all know that there is a mental health crisis, not just in Minnesota, but across the country, and those services are critical to the future of our students and their mental and physical support. Thinking about the nursing services, again, moving through the pandemic, how critical that those services were to our students and to our families. We partner with the district in that. We provide a nursing support for the days in which the district does not provide that services. So it is a partnership. We work close together with the district superintendent and the staff. I think the thing that is important to me is that these services continue, again, to support our students, not to necessarily support the schools, and that it's not a us versus them, but we play a very symbiotic role with our public school friends and partners in serving the public good, which is really what education is all about, and those shared values that we serve together. So I strongly ask you to think critically and carefully about the elimination of these programs and services, that they would directly impact students, and many of them themselves come from socioeconomic diverse and challenging situations that would not be able to attend our schools or receive the quality of education without the support that is provided through this aid. But it's not the only aid. I mean, the independent schools provide innumerable services and resources to support these students. And this is an important part of serving the overall common good through supporting the individual students in our local districts and in our state. So thank you for this opportunity to speak to you this morning, and again, ask you to think very carefully and critically about the decision that's in front of you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your service, and I appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you very much for your testimony. The final testifier on our list this morning is Tim Benz. Please identify yourself and you may begin.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Tim Benz, President of Independent. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee, for the opportunity to testify today. As I mentioned, I'm President of Independent. We're the largest advocacy and organization supporting the non-public schools in Minnesota. We have 180 member schools that serve 41,000 students located in those schools. I'm also a member of the Minnesota P20 Education Partnership. Since 1976, Independent has served as the primary advocacy organization for non-public schools. Our current enrollment has 55% of our member schools are located in the Twin Cities area, 45% are located in greater Minnesota. As a colleague of mine often reminds, when you've seen one non-public school, you've seen one non-public school. As you have heard from the testimony today, there remain significant challenges facing students, families, and staff. In addition, the proposed elimination of non-public pupil aids and transportation presents a daunting outlook to students and families, primarily to those who most rely on these necessary services. I would like to provide just a broad perspective on non-public education in Minnesota. 1 school in 6 is a non-public school, and 1 student in 12 attends a non-public school. There are 460 non-public schools in the state of Minnesota, educating more than 73,000 students, and thousands of staff are employed in those. In fact, about 9% of all the non-public schools are located in the legislative districts of members of the committee here today. By using simple table napkin math and based on the state's per pupil allocation, students attending non-public schools in the state save the state around $500 million each year. Beginning in 1969, the Minnesota legislature made a commitment to transport students to their school of choice regardless of educational sector. In summary, so the health, welfare, and safety of the children while using the public highways of the state shall be protected. Additionally, in 1975, as Dr. Balmer mentioned, Minnesota's legislature made a further commitment to support students and families regardless of the location they receive their services with various resources, including textbook, nursing services, and counseling, as noted in Statute 123B40. These statutes embrace the concept that certain programs are for the common good for children of Minnesota. In 2023, Minnesota advanced the common good when non-public students in K through 12 settings became eligible for the Free Meals for School program in 2023. More than 130 non-public schools now participate in this universal program that ensures that all students have food security while in school. As you reflect on these services that invest in Minnesota students and families, I'd like to highlight a few key items. Minnesota is not an outlier in this. Many states have similar programs as well. It also mirrors many of the federal programs. As part of the Elementary Secondary Education Act of 1965, non-public students and staff were supported through equitable services provisions. And in addition, IDEA provides equitable services to students in non-public schools who require special education services. As I mentioned, I'm a member of the Minnesota P20 Education Partnership, and I had the opportunity to participate in a cross-sector panel with colleagues from public school districts and the charter school sector. As we highlighted challenges in our sectors, there was great commonality in the challenges. Education is under pressure for resources, student support, talent, and solutions. As part of this, we would also ask the legislature to consider extending some of these non-public pupil aid programs, primarily the counseling, which currently only exists for students in grades 7 through 12. So as you've heard from some of our testifiers, those mental health situations are occurring earlier and younger for students, so we would ask for that expansion to be considered. In Governor Wallace's recent budget proposal, he proposes eliminating all non-public pupil aids and transportation services. As you can imagine, and illustrated by our testifiers today, these have potentially seismic impacts on students and families in our schools. The interesting fact is that a majority of non-public pupil aid and transportation services, nurses, counselors, bus drivers, are administered and staffed by local public school employees. Two administrators that were unable to join us today were inspired to email me on the impacts to their students and families. Randy Fifley, head of schools at Southwest Minnesota Christian in Edgerton, a very expansive rural district, told me their students are bused from 30 miles and the additional burden on their farming families would be devastated. He quipped, "Dairy cows cannot delay their milking times." Franklin Academy, a unique non-public school in Golden Valley that serves neurodiverse students and students on the autism spectrum, serves students from across the greater Twin Cities area. Their families use their non-public transportation reimbursements to contract with Metro Mobility or private transportation to serve their high-need students. I recently had a discussion with a retired administrator who spent more than 25 years in education. We were discussing challenges facing the education ecosystem, from staffing issues to mental health in students and the changing educational landscape. He summed it up perfectly. We are not all in the same boat, as is frequently said. In reality, we are all in different boats, but in the same storm. In closing, I encourage members of this committee to support investing in students and not discriminate against the students and families who choose a non-public education setting. The students in non-public schools live in your neighborhoods, participate in your community sports and recreation programs, and attend the same places of worship. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all of our testifiers today. We really appreciate you taking the time to come in and visit with us. Members, do we have any questions or comments? Senator Farnsworth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And if the testifier that was just there could come back, actually, the school that you mentioned in Golden Valley caught my attention. And I think that I don't remember the exact language that you used, neurodiverse. I'm assuming this is students with autism. Can you just tell us a little bit more about that school? It's the first I've heard of it, so I'm a special ed teacher, so it kind of caught my attention.
Mr. Benz.
Mr. Chairman, Senator, it is actually it's a nonprofit organization that originally started as a private non-public school, but then expanded because they saw the needs that were required. So it's called the Franklin Center. Their school, which is a K through 12 school, is called Franklin Academy, but within that nonprofit organization, they have all kinds of supports for not only students, but also adults who need additional help, moving from that, graduating from 12th grade and some of those social and life skills that they need moving on forward. It's unique. It is unique, and it's significant in terms of that. So they do a lot of mental health counseling, and specifically for those students, neurodiverse, autism spectrum, those that require additional aids. That just don't always fit perfectly in some of the other settings that they have been in an educational environment.
Follow up. Senator Swedzinski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Not a question for you. Just some comments overall. I'm just curious, we heard a couple people, testifiers today, reference that they are educating their children at about $8,000 and that state funding is $18,000 per student. If whoever made that, I heard that statement twice, so I could use some more information on that. So I don't know if you're still here, or maybe that's for another day, or I got 5 quick things, okay. So I see.
If we have a testifier that wants to respond to that, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chair, Senator. So when I referenced the little over $8,532 per student across our Catholic school system, that is the average amount that it truly takes to educate the child. And so when we look at our tuition, we look at the difference, and that's what our leaders and our system are working hard to make up that difference. That's part of the reason why accessing and utilizing all of the opportunities that our students have through non-public funds becomes critical both at the state and the federal level. Is there any?
Do private schools receive federal funding?
Let's forget.
We do, yep. There is a non-public portion of title funds that come through the federal government. So there is a portion of that. It's called equitable services. Our title part A. So we have Title I, Title II, Title III, and Title IV that are each targeted at different areas of students and different needs to support learning as well. And we do work to access those. They do not target the exact type of needs that the state per pupil funds do, and they do not support transportation. So there's definitely a difference.
Senator Swedzinski.
And are those funds on the potential chopping block from the federal government?
Ms. Forget.
Are the private schools worried about that as well?
I think it's something that we're always watching. I guess I can't speak to what the federal government is going to do, but it's something that, of course, we certainly watch and attend to. Those are important funds as well.
Mr. Benz, I see you.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Senator Swedzinski. Yes, there's a concern, and I think every we are curious as to how that funding moves and flows, and in different administrations as well. There's kind of this sense, as an organization, we work very closely with our partners at the Department of Education in the federal program area. So in a similar way, like the non-public pupil aids are worked is in most non-public schools. Similarly, district staff is staffing those positions to provide title services. Again, those are for learners who need additional assistance to get up to a certain level, or professional development opportunities for teachers, or English language learner supports.
Senator Swedzinski, another question.
I'd like my I'll what is the phrase? Give up my time to reserve the balance of my time to a couple colleagues. But if they don't have any questions, I do have a couple more.
Are there any other members that?
Thanks, Chair Eric. I heard a couple of your prior testifiers refer to these cuts as devastating, as harmful, as all of these pieces. And yesterday we heard testimony as well of potential cuts being that way as well. If Department of Education gets cut at the federal level and it's gone, is that your assessment as well, that on the federal side it would be devastating to you?
To either of the testifiers?
Mr. Chair, Senator, to be honest with you, I'm not sure exactly what would look like, what would happen. Certainly there's federally mandated programs that I think operate through the federal Department of Education that work directly into states. How that way it's unwound or untangled, I'm not even sure how that works. That is certainly something as our association and our partners in the public school arena and the charter school arena, and even my national colleagues, I think it's one of these things we're just gonna have to watch and see. No different than in most years when they look at kind of how the title or equitable services work. It moves and comes and goes each year depending on enrollment swings or emphasis in certain areas that they'd want to invest more in or so.
We have, I can see the ILS principal has their hand up, maybe looking to respond to that online.
Dean.
Yes. Yeah, I did want to respond to the previous question a little bit, and I think it does speak into this question as well. A school like ours, we're one of those ones that our tuition we charge $3,000 per student, and our costs are about $5,500. So our church is offsetting a big chunk of that, and then of course the non-public pupil aids help as well. I guess the moral to it is we run on a razor-thin budget, and we keep our costs as low as possible. We just set our tuition rates for next year, and we were really debating over whether some of our families could afford an additional $175 per student, or another $100, depending upon if they were members of our church. And so I think that's one of the key things for us, is it's going to be razor thin for us how we run it every year. We could potentially charge more for tuition, but we don't, because we know it's that tight for our families to be able to afford coming to our school. And again, we're educating our students at about $5,500 per student. And coming from a public school system where I was a superintendent with a nearly $40 billion budget, it's quite different to be in a school this size with about a $600,000 budget. And so seeing how that all works together, I've certainly learned that God provides. But one way that we've been provided for is the offsetting of transportation. The nursing service in particular are ones that are key for us. And so that's a piece to the puzzle for our budget, and it's important. And so I just wanted to speak to a school that is remote and way out in southwestern Minnesota, and trying to work with and provide for the needs of our families within our small community. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Clark, follow up.
Yeah, I think I just want to emphasize, I thank you for the work that you're doing, and you're operating at razor's edge, and I think we heard that from our public schools as well. And so I want to be clear that we should be collectively worried about what's happening in Washington, because it affects all of us. And so I encourage you to game out what happens. Talk to your CFOs, talk to your financial services folks to go, all right, what jobs do we have to cut if the feds don't live up to their promise anymore? Thank you, Chair.
Senator Lucero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for this committee and for all the testifiers. I just wanted to address that last remark from my colleague. I'm not worried. I'm encouraged. I'm not worried for what's happening in D.C. I am worried for what's happening in Minnesota. The abject failure of Governor Walz and the Democrat Party in this state to overlook the waste, fraud, and abuse is destroying Minnesota households and families in multiple different areas. President Trump on the national level, as I said yesterday, is doing what Governor Walz fails to do. He's not eliminating, he's reforming, he's pausing to ensure that taxpayer dollars, that policy is going to actually have an effective outcome, not just lip service, not just cronyism, but actually producing what needs to be done in this country. So again, I'm not fearful. Most people across this country and state are not fearful, they're encouraged. And I look forward to what's going to happen on the other end of this tunnel that we're going through, decades in the making of reform that needed to happen. So thank you again, Mr. Chair, for this conversation. And thank you again. I very much appreciate everyone that spoke. But in the last comments, in the neurodiverse, that's just one of the many areas where innovative thinking, out-of-the-box thinking, to bring specialized care to people of all needs, that desperately needs to happen instead of the one-size-fits-all approach that continues to come out of this committee and stifling those who are trying to be innovative. So again, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Did you have some comments, Chair Kunish?
I think we between yesterday and today, it's really apparent about just how complex funding education is, whether it's public school or private school. The debate around funding private schools with taxpayer dollars, especially when we look at our Constitution, has been going on forever and ever, and it definitely is extremely complex, and there are a lot of considerations that we have to take into place around equity, around inclusivity, around recognizing our students for what they are and how they choose to live their life. But it's around accountability as well when it comes to all of our schools in the way that we want to make sure that our students are receiving the best education and the best public education that they can with that choice of a private school or an alternative school. And so this discussion, this debate will continue. And as we look at the rising cost of educating our children in public schools, as we look at declining enrollment, as we look at the dollars that our taxpayers put towards our public education, who knows down the road what that will look like when it comes to how we can support any public school efforts as well. So with that, I think that this conversation will continue. There are a lot of strong feelings and emotions when it comes to this, and I recognize it. I think it's good that we had this conversation and heard from all of you today, and we'll certainly take all of these things into consideration. I will just, should I just say about next week? Okay. Next week, so the power sharing agreement has ended. I think this has gone really well. I very much enjoyed working with Senator Rarick and his staff. I hope we can continue in this bipartisan way as we go forward. I think it's the best way to govern, as a matter of fact. And so next week, I will take back the gavel. Tuesday, we will be hearing about the READ Act and some of the reports that have come out of that. There will be a new seating arrangement. I think some folks are going to be dropping off, and so look for, you might have a different spot to perch yourself next week. And with that, thank you for a good week.
And thank you. And as we wrap this up, I would just, ask all of us to consider, from what we heard today, I think many of us, a lot of times when you hear about private schools, we get an image in our head. And I think what we heard from so many today is, and from the one comment that I so much appreciated, when you've seen one non-public school, you've seen one non-public school. They are so different, some very large, some very, very small. And they serve different needs, and I think from what we heard today, so many of the examples, they tend to do that very, very well. And just as I listen to all their testimonies, the one thing that I think we need to ask ourselves as we consider what the governor was proposing, if we cut some of these non-public school aids, will that drive some of the students that attend there to public schools, where we will just be then sending that money there and not actually saving the state any money as we think we're doing by this proposal. And actually, from what we've heard, we believe there are actually increased costs for some of these students when they are in a public school rather than the non-public school. So by cutting these aids, will we actually be increasing what the state is expected to pay for these students? So I think that's something we have to continue thinking about and talking about as we move forward with what the potential is around our budget here, and what is going to have to get cut if that's the route we feel we have to go in this area. So with that, thank you, everyone. And I don't believe we're actually losing any members. You added a member with the share, so we will continue with our exact same group all the way. I know Senator Housley's, I had promised her she was coming back off, but she's staying on. So.
And Mr. Chair, I have on good authority that we don't want to change because these two want to sit right next to me going forward. So.
All right. With that, we are adjourned.